Hello, hello, and welcome to my thought on Friday. It's a lovely Friday. They've been threatening rain, but it hasn't, and the weather is just like a warm, comforting blanket. Very moist, which is why I have my little curly hair because I've got so much of it because I haven't had a haircut in 4 months. Um, but that explains the curls. Years ago, my friend Maggie and I went to San Rafael and stood on a busy corner and had a sign that said free hugs, free hugs. And we must have had 50 people who needed hugs from a stranger. And then 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the first year I moved to Brighton. I carried a sign that said a free hug from a granny. And I not only got many, many hugs, and it is on Facebook. There's a wonderful thing where a whole school of French children literally screamed and came and hugged me all at once. But I also got two hugs from two lovely police people. One was a policewoman and the other was a policeman. And that was Brighton. And of course, I've always said that Brighton is a very special, gorgeous place. And there, the police hug you. They certainly don't hit you or abuse you or use tear gas. But I have been doing some research and I have discovered that hugs are, without doubt, the cheapest medicine and the best medicine that you can possibly have. And now, in this lockdown, having to stay 3 meters apart, 2 meters apart, my arms just aren't big enough to hug people. But I now know why I am so sad not to have my ration of hugs, because the one nice thing about doing comedy at Angel was that whenever I went out there, I got hugs from everyone. And I also got wine. So I'm not sure which it was that was the most medicinal for me. But hugs are definitely medicinally valuable, and these are the things they do. They reduce stress. You need to know that the optimum hug is a gentle hug for 20 seconds, which is a good thing because I frankly don't think I'm going to last more than 20 seconds, especially at at the pace I've been running lately. 20 seconds is just about the time I've got left. But they reduce stress. They reduce stress. Uh, they they are good for heart health. And I know they're good for heart health because when you're hugged, you feel loved. And there's nothing that's better for your heart than to feel loved. Loving is a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you can't get a hug, get someone to feed you. That works just as well. They reduce fear. They reduce fear. And you know that. You know that when you see a child who's frightened, and all you have to do is give that child a little hug, and they're comforted and they're not afraid. We saw that a lot with people trying to protect their children in Germany and Poland and Romania and Czechoslovakia when the Jewish people were sent to the camps. And the mothers hugged their children to comfort them so that they wouldn't be afraid of what was to come. So that was hugging. And those hugs were more than 20 seconds. Uh, so it reduces fear. It reduces pain. And I remember that particularly, and I'm speaking of emotional pain. I refused a cancer treatment for my bladder cancer, a preventative cancer treatment. And I was petrified. I thought that the next day I would get a tumor and drop dead. And there was a nurse that came with me, and she just hugged me. That's all she did. And it was the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me. And I am absolutely confident that because of her hug, the tumor never came back. You can argue with me, you scientists, but I'm telling you that I think that's the reason why. It also was good for communication. Sometimes words don't do it, but a hug says it all. A hug says it all. And there are people that I see that I don't have to say hello to, but I love them so much. And what I do is instead of saying I love you, since those words are so overused, I hug them. And and that works. And there is a man here named David Hardcastle who is the most huggable man in the world. And every time I see him, I hug him. And I said to him, doesn't everybody do this for you? And he said the most beautiful thing that anyone has ever said to me in my whole 86 years of life. The most beautiful thing. I said, "Doesn't everybody hug you?" And he said, "No, only you, but that's enough." So turn to the person that you love and hug them. Turn to the person that you like and hug them. But give a lot of hugs. Now, I discovered that there is an amount of hugs that we need. 4 a day is good for maintenance. 4 a day. Eight, eight, eight is for maintenance. 4 is for survival. 4 a day is for survival. 8 is for maintenance, and 12 hugs, and you'll grow. And I am telling all of you who watch this now that I have shrunk from 5'2" to 4'10", and I am desperate to grow. So I'm taking appointments now for 12. I have room for 12 hugs every day. Just simply private message me, and I will come to you for that hug, because I need 12 a day so that I can be 5'2" again, like I was when I was young and beautiful. And thank you so much for joining me for my huggy wuggy talk on this lovely Friday evening.